Hey y'all, happy Weird Wednesday. It is October the 7th, and these are some of the headlines on bizarrebus.com. Halloween features the first full moon across time zones since 1944. Creepy Silence of the Lambs house is now for sale. No, dude. I don't know if I could live there. Machete wielding guy in gorilla suit threatens to blow up a building. Mom arrested after toddler found living in cage with a 10-foot boa. Dude. After 3,000 years, Tasmanian devils are returning to the Australian mainland, and Earth may not be the best place for humans to live. Where should we live then, I ask? All these headlines and more on bizarrebus.com.
bizarrebus.com. Real news, no bullshit.
It only makes sense that in 2020, this Halloween features the first full moon across time zones since 1944. The events of 2020 have been strange enough, I'll say, that some might quip. They would only happen once in a blue moon, but this year we'll have one of those, definitely a blue moon. At the end of October, an actual rare blue moon will occur on Halloween. This year, October has two full moons, one on the 1st or 2nd of October, depending on which time zone you're in. That gave us the harvest moon, the full moon closest to the autumn equinox, when day and night are of equal length. This normally occurs in September, but edged into October this year, also known as the full corn moon or barley moon in some parts of America. Farmers have traditionally made the most of its light to gather crops well into the night before winter sets in. This year, the harvest moon was also the hunter's moon, again named for rural practices, this time of hunting summer fattened animals under the light of the moon, which is brighter and lasts longer at this time of year. However, 2020's harvest moon is a micro full moon since it's smaller than usual. The second moon in any given month is known as the blue moon. There are 7 every 19 years. The name is something of a placeholder given in order to keep the year's other full moons in their rightful place. This is because the moon completes 12 full cycles of its phase in 354 days, 11 short of the full solar calendar year of 365 days. This year is particularly unusual as it is the full moon to occur across all time zones since 1944. Although there is a full moon on Halloween somewhere in the world every 19 years, meaning that the next one to occur will be in 2039, followed by 2058 and 2077, etc. Some traditions count the third full moon in astronomical season with 4 full moons as the blue moon. Either way, the extra moon is a way of reconciling solar and lunar calendars, such like an extra month of Adar 2 in the Jewish calendar, which also occurs 7 times in a 19-year cycle. In Jerusalem, the harvest moon occurred on October 2nd at 5 minutes past midnight. The blue moon will occur October 31st at 4:49 p.m. That's pretty cool, dude. I don't know where it will. This is from the Jerusalem Post, so I'm not sure where it will be in America or what time. But definitely I will link this at bizarrebus.com. By far one of the creepiest movies I've ever seen is Silence of the Lambs, just based on its content alone and storyline. But the creepy house is up for sale in Pennsylvania, where it's located, which I did not know where it was located. Buffalo Bill's house from the iconic thriller Silence of the Lambs is up for grabs, lotion not included. I wonder if the well is still in it. Dude. All I know is when they turned out the lights and they were like using night vision in the movie, I kept thinking, hell no. The psychotic killer Queen Anne style home was used as the set in the 91 film classic, but has been fully operational as a home since then. Now it's on the market for $298,000. Most of America has seen this house. But now you have a chance to buy it, says the real estate agent. The 4-bedroom home with a sprawling front porch sits on 1.7 acres in Perryopolis, Pennsylvania, along the train tracks featured in the opening shot of the Buffalo Bill scene. The foyer has many of the original features, such as the trim and hardwood floors pictured in the Academy Award-winning film. The dining room where Clarice Starling was filmed confronting Buffalo Bill still has the same serial killer charm. Nice. The basement, though dark and foreboding, does not include a hole in the well. Well, that answers that question. And a basket, so that's not included. That part was filmed at a soundstage. However, also included in the subterranean storage area is a brick-lined cold cellar, which is actually kind of creepy, the agent admits. For all its Hollywood lore, the home also includes a bit of a real-life story. A detached garage converted into a workspace was once the town's post office and train station, and a vintage caboose has been placed next to an in-ground pool. The home has had competition in the past, according to Yahoo News. When it was on the market in 2016, animal rights group PETA offered to buy it and turn it into an empathy museum where visitors could wear the skin of mistreated animals just like old Bill. Wonder if he danced in front of a mirror saying, well, I'll stop there. In any event, I will link it at bizarrebus.com. 2020 couldn't get weirder. A machete-wielding man in a gorilla suit threatens to blow up an apartment building. Indy cops say. North Dakota cops say, I guess. A man dressed as a gorilla and wielding a machete was arrested Friday after North Dakota police say he made threats against people in an apartment building. Could you really take a dude wearing a gorilla suit wielding a machete seriously? I'm not sure I could. I'd probably laugh myself into a grave. He'd probably come for me because I wouldn't stop laughing. Fargo police arrived in an apartment building around 12:30 after reports that shots had been fired. Officers were told that there was a man on the property dressed in a gorilla suit and carrying a machete. Dude, when police spoke with witnesses, they learned that the supposed gunshots were actually large fireworks and that the man in the gorilla suit had threatened people inside the apartment building and said he planned to blow it up. Probably not smart, gorilla dude. Police evacuated residents from the apartment building before talking with the man, later identified as Jordan Pickus, 26. For several hours, he ultimately surrendered and police took him into custody. Pickus was taken to a hospital for a mental health evaluation before he was arrested and charged with terrorizing. Why? The question is why? Were you wearing a gorilla suit and carrying a machete? I mean, why didn't you... What were you doing initially before the firecrackers became too much for you to handle mentally that you had to go outside with a machete and threaten people inside their building, you know? I want to know what you were doing initially with the gorilla suit on. Was it like part of you're just testing out Halloween and became agitated? What happened there, dude? I don't know that we'll ever know, but I'll link it at bizarrebus.com. Dude, it's Bizarre Best Headlines, 100% unfiltered. A mom was arrested after toddler found living in tiny cage with a 10-foot boa constrictor. Who are these people? Like, who the hell would do that to their kid? Horrified police say they were shocked to discover a little boy inside a kennel at a trailer in Tennessee when they were called to reports of animal neglect. That's child neglect, dude. I think you're a little off. Three adults have been charged after a 1-year-old was found by police inside a kennel surrounded by mice and snakes. Were you trying to kill the kid? I think you were. Police were called to the trailer in Henry County, Tennessee after receiving reports of animal neglect and were stunned with the sickening scene. The little boys was found in a 4x4 cage in a living room with no toys or blankets. The boy's mother, Heather Scarborough, 42, and her boyfriend, Thomas Brown, 46, and his father, Charles Brown, 82, have been charged with aggravated child abuse and aggravated cruelty to animals. Dude. Following the raid in June, Henry County Sheriff Monte Ballou said there were 8 snakes in the room, stating, "With all of the law enforcement experience up here, it's hard to find something that actually shocks us. I've never seen this before, and I can guarantee the gentlemen up in here with me have never seen this before." As well as the child, investigators found 17 semi-automatic guns and more than 100 marijuana plants. An estimated 600 animals, including cats, dogs, have since been taken away. Just throw the kid in the cage, just like the other animals. Are you kidding? According to a report in the U.S., thousands of cockroaches and maggots infested the room, which was caked with dog feces. Michael Cunningham of the Animal Rescue told News Channel 5 that he was confronted with a number of cages with animals inside. He said they were in tanks and they were completely filled to the top with feces. It was a mess. Oh my God, dude, why? There was trash on the floor, cockroaches all over us, and flies everywhere. Defense attorneys have denied that the boy was made to live in a kennel, instead describing it as a makeshift playpen for a lower income family. Okay. How can defense attorneys defend this if he was in the playpen with snakes and mice? That's an effing problem, dude. Authorities removed 86 chickens, 56 dogs, 10 rabbits, 4 parakeets, 3 cats, 8 snakes, 1 pheasant, 531 mice, rats, and hamsters, and 1 gecko. They also seized 17 guns and 127 marijuana plants. Well, I'm glad somebody called, because clearly something needed to be done. This poor child. I don't know if it's that we are able to know about these things, or are they happening more often? Is it just because we're connected to the internet that we're hearing about them? Did all this stuff always just happen and we never heard about it because of the news? I don't know, man. Like, because we weren't connected is what I'm trying to say. Or now that we're connected, we're hearing about all this stuff. It is absolutely, I do not know how, as a mother, you could treat your child that way. I just don't know. But I will link it at bizarrebus.com. Feisty marsupial released in sanctuary in an attempt to revive population ravaged by contagious facial tumor disease. The Tasmanian devils back on Australian mainland after 3,000 years. That's amazing. I didn't realize they had an issue. Tasmanian devils have been released on Australia's mainland thousands of years after the feisty marsupials first went extinct there, in what conservationists describe on Monday as a historic step. AUSSIARC, along with a coalition of other conservation groups, said they released 26 of the carnivorous mammals into a 400 hectare or 1,000 acre sanctuary at Barrington Tops, about 3.5 hours north of Sydney. Tim Faulkner, president of AUSSIARC, said the historic releases in July and September were the first steps in a project akin to the successful move to return wolves to Yellowstone National Park in the United States in the 90s. After 16 years of work, including the establishment of Mainland, Australia's largest Tasmanian devil breeding program, Faulkner said it was incredible and surreal to have reached the goal. It's the stuff dreams are made of, he told AFP news agency. Our biggest native mainland predator is the tiger quoll, and they're just over a kilo. So to be bringing back something of this enormity is huge. They're vicious, people. Vicious. I'm not sure this is a good thing, dude. But I mean, it's good for the animal, but y'all better watch out. Tasmanian devils, which weigh up to 18 pounds, have a black or brown coat, typically prey on other native animals or scavenge from carcasses. According to government environmental authorities, devils are not dangerous to humans or livestock. That's not what I've read. But will defend themselves if attacked and can cause serious injury. Just stay the hell out of their way. They call them Tasmanian devils for a reason. The animal is known for their extremely loud growl, powerful jaws, and ferocity when confronting rivals over food or mates are classified as endangered after a contagious facial tumor disease ravaged the remaining population in Tasmania, an island state off the south coast of the mainland. It is estimated that fewer than 25,000 Tasmanian devils still live in the wild, down from as many as 150,000 before the fatal disease first struck in the mid-90s. Faulkner said it was hoped the project would create an insurance population against the facial tumor disease, which has so far proved untreatable, and help restore the native environment. Well, dude, I wish them all the luck in the world. Devils present one of the only natural solutions to the control of the fox and the cat. And the fox and cat are responsible for nearly all of 40 mammal extinctions in Australia. Dude, I had no idea. Well, good luck to them. Absolutely, I encourage everyone to free wildlife, definitely, and encourage its growth. I will link it at bizarrebus.com. Interesting subject. Earth is not necessarily the best planet in the universe for life, a new study has found. What other choices do we have? Researchers found some 24 planets that are super inhabitable, offering conditions more suitable for life than they are here on Earth. Well, let's hear about it. And some of them have better stars than our own sun, researchers said. The new study looked for worlds that would be even more likely to foster life than our own, including those that are older, bigger, warmer, and wetter than Earth, and the hope of informing future searches for life elsewhere in the universe. The study identified 25 of the super habitable planets. They are all 100 light years away, making them difficult, if not impossible, to ever see up close. But research with future telescopes could give us more information about those worlds. Then how the hell do you know that they're better than Earth? I beg to differ. With the technological developments on board upcoming telescopes, such as NASA's James Webb Space Telescope, researchers hope that they may even be able to spot the signatures of life on distant planets at some point. With the next space telescopes coming up, we'll get more information, so it is important to select some targets. Well, I agree. We have to focus on certain planets that have the most promising conditions for complex life. However, we have to be careful to not get stuck looking for a second Earth, because there could be planets that might be more suitable for life than ours. Okay. Air and water, dude. I think that's what we need. Researchers identified a host of possible criteria for such super habitable planets. They then looked through the 4,500 known planets outside our solar system that have been found in an attempt to identify which could have those important criteria. That included looking for planets K dwarf stars, which are not like our sun, those similar to our star known as G stars, only have a relatively short lifespan, and given the sun was almost half its age before any form of complex life arrived, many other similar planetary systems could die out before they're inhabited. K dwarf stars, by contrast, are cooler, smaller, and brighter than our sun. They also stay around for much longer, up to 70 billion years, meaning the planets around them would have much more time to develop advanced life. You can check it out yourself. There's a ton more on the situation at bizarrebus.com. Thanks for tuning in this Weird Wednesday. I'm calling them Weird Wednesdays because I now can only do the news one day a week. I do apologize, but my regular job in real life has to pay the bills, and the news doesn't. So, had to weigh that out. Also, it's the busy time of the season for what I do. I move cars, so lots of snowbirds, north, south type stuff. I don't physically drive them. I'm the connector, if you will. So very, very busy. So something had to give. So I appreciate your patience. At some point, I may be able to get back to doing it nightly. I just literally physically cannot do it right now. So we're calling them Weird Wednesdays. So tune in every Wednesday and you'll get your news. In the meantime, you guys take care, stay bizarre, and thanks for tuning in.
Yeah. Make sure you take a deep breath. Think positive. Just saying.
Dude! Penguins given free rein to roam around the aquarium since there's no visitors allowed. That's awesome! Dude, look! He's looking around! He's loving it! I got a new section on the headlines page at the bottom called Bad Seeds. Matt Gaetz of Florida, 1st Congressional District, mocked the whole process by wearing a gas mask when reviewing the funding. You're a super freaking winner, dude. An Alaska airman has been punished for peeing in the office coffee maker. Dude, why? Like, why? Did you take it in the bathroom with you? Did you stand in the kitchen and whip it out? Clearly, this airman is dedicated to getting kicked the F out. He's trying really hard, y'all.